friends. Let's hope this is recording. This is a brand new MacBook Pro, which means, of course, you've learned now, unless you're 5 years old, that everything is backwards. Everything is the opposite of what it claims to be. America's land of the free means most people in jail. Everything is the opposite of what you've been told. The only people we've ever met who act like Christians are all atheists. Whereas all the Christians, so-called Christians out there, act just like Caligula and Caesar and the Romans. Right? America, all of our holidays are for lawbreakers. Not one is for somebody who obeyed the law. Not one of our holidays is for somebody who obeyed the law. All of them are for lawbreakers, from Jesus to Labor Day, even President's Day. Both George Washington, terrorist who said we should kill police, and Abe Lincoln, who broke a lot of laws. 4th of July is for nothing but super lawbreaker terrorists, and so forth and so forth. But please, as I'm known for my digressions, please do not allow me to digress. Today, Americans, I want to tell you about the importance of voting and why it is important. There are a lot of people who say, quote Emma Goldman, if elections did anything, they would make it illegal, which is a very good point. But as of right now, voting in America isn't as bad. In some ways, it's worse than you think it is. In other ways, it is better than you fear that it is. Example, you know that they're scared of people voting. One obvious example, they put Election Day on a Tuesday. Now, if they put Election Day on a Tuesday, we have a huge scandal, and more Americans are realizing this. There's only one reason you'd put Election Day on a work day: to discourage people from voting. Most people in America vote near their homes, not near their workplaces, near their homes. Logically, you would put Election Day then on a Saturday or a Sunday, because everybody is near their homes on a weekend more than they are on a weekday when they have to commute to work. Most people can't vote before they go to work because their commute alone is such an extensive waste of time and money. And so their only opportunity is everybody has to vote after work. Now, if everybody's voting at the same time between 6 and 9 p.m., the lines are going to be impossibly long. That was all deliberate. And you can ask them, why'd you pick a Tuesday? And they'll say, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Everything they've done is corrupt, and most of it's illegal. Some people think, oh, it's wrong, we need to change that. No, it's illegal. You just need to get some asshole to enforce the laws. Or you need to sue the fuck out of them as a taxpayer who's been defrauded by this incredibly illegal election system. Now, that's the first reason that you should vote. Because if it's on a Tuesday, that means they don't want you to vote. 2, they do all kinds of tricks to make you not vote. Hell, they give you the choice between usually Robot A and Robot B. Why? Both to discourage you from voting and to make it, in case you all do vote, you're going to pick one of their robots, Democrat or Republican. Those are more clues that they do not want you to vote. Therefore, you should vote. Now, you're right. It's not even a secret. The American people do not elect the president. That's not even a secret. And in 2015, everybody likes to still think Americans choose their president. Al Gore won by over 600,000 votes. Look it up. The popular vote wasn't even close. George Bush didn't even come close to winning the popular vote. Ergo, he wasn't legitimately president of the United States of America. Now they can say, oh no, that's the way we do it here. Really? I don't remember getting to vote for the Electoral College. Nobody I know voted for the Electoral College, meaning it's unlawful. You can't say, well, your ancestors did. That would still make it unlawful. You can't say, well, your ancestors signed a contract with this plumber that you've got to pay him $1,000 a year. Really? I didn't sign that, but I have to pay the plumber $1,000 a year? No, I don't, Nazi. Come and get my money, you fucking mafia. And more Americans are realizing this is all nothing but super mafia. Yes, it's super mafia. But now, even all the shit they've done to make voting illegal or hamper it or everything, making people register. In New York, they make you register like a month and a half before that. And they know people move so often in New York City that they make it very difficult. You got to keep re-registering to vote every time you move. Every time you got a new roommate or every time you move to a new place, you have to file over again just for the right to vote. That's insane. You should never have to register to vote. I go further. I say everybody should vote in America by social security number, because nobody can say, for the most part, it doesn't have to be very secret. Maybe if you're voting against Stalin, you don't want people to know who voted for him and who didn't. Okay, but that's not really the case in this country. They're not going to round up the fucking 40 million people who didn't vote for George Bush and Cheney. It's not going to happen. It's too much trouble. What they are going to do is make you think that your votes don't count. And that's not completely true. Even voting for president, think about it. If 300 million people voted for Bernie Sanders and 1 million voted for Trump, and they say, the Electoral College just says, yep, Trump's got it. That would be, do you understand? That would be brilliant. We want to have more than 600,000 who voted for Gore versus Bush. We want to have even more people who voted against the President of the United States. Do you understand the importance? If you want to bring this system down, sometimes it takes steps. You can't do it overnight. You take steps. Oh, we got a little closer. Up, a little closer to revolution. Up, a little closer to revolution. So, now let me give you a few more examples. Now, spread the word. Every single person who can vote in America should vote. Now, here's a couple important points. The 3 groups who don't vote are the 3 groups who should vote the most. Poor people. They're the ones getting fucked the hardest, so they should vote. Raise hell. Minorities, they're getting fucked the hardest. They should vote. They don't. Young people, their whole future's getting fucked. Harder than the old assholes. They should vote. But those 3 groups don't vote. Now, good news for 2016's presidential election is you see the entire rule book of 200 plus years has been thrown out the window. The Republican nutjobs say, we're not voting for your fucking Jeb Bushes or your robot Rubios. We're not voting for your fucking robot candidates. We'll take Trump because he's not one of your fucking robot candidates and you can't control him. And we want a fucking outsider. The Democrats are saying the exact same thing. Fuck Hillary Clinton. We fucking rejected that loser last time. We're going to reject that loser again. We want somebody who's not part of your fucking machine. So this is a really crazy time in American history. We've never seen anything like it before, where both sides are rejecting the 1%. 2016 is the year, and this is going to be a huge shift forever in American history. So this is the biggest election of your life. This is the biggest election of anyone you know who's alive. So you and we all need to do our part. I'm telling people, it's Bernie Sanders or nothing. It's Bernie Sanders or burn this shit to the ground. Hillary Clinton is more Republican than any Republican. That's been proven over and over again. You don't need to know the shit she did. If I have a choice between voting for fucking George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan and Hillary Clinton, I would probably go for Bush and Reagan because they're insane. But Hillary and Billary take it to a whole new level. Again, it wasn't the Republicans who deregulated Wall Street. It was Bill and Hillary Clinton. It wasn't the Republicans who destroyed welfare. It was Hillary and Bill. Look it up. It wasn't the Republicans who outlawed free speech on the internet. It was Hillary and Bill. Look it up. Thankfully, the Supreme Court stopped that because it was a little unconstitutional. Hillary should have gone to prison then. She should have gone to prison before she even became first lady. Of course, remember, when the right wingers say she should go to prison, they're usually talking about horse shit. They're right, she should go to prison, but they're using the wrong reasons. She should go to prison for all these reasons, but they don't cite these reasons because these are all things that they did. You see? They can't criticize all of Hillary's crimes because those are all crimes that the Republicans do every minute of every day. So they had to make up new ones that aren't so good. Benghazi's not so strong, I'm sorry. And they know that too, but they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They want to bring her down, but they can't bring up her real shit because they did it too. Yes, they did Benghazi too, but it's not quite as pronounced. Don't get me started on a digression. Let's stick to voting. Voting. Now, in local elections, we see voting makes a huge difference. And even in Bush v. Gore, we see that, I hate to say it because I was Green Party at the time, but Bush wouldn't have even slightly won had the Green Party not helped him split the vote. Ralph Nader had no reason on earth to continue to pretend to be on the ballot, especially in states like Florida, swing votes. Now, like example, if I live in a state like New York City, New York State, I know that, pardon me, I'm supposed to be talking in a British accent all the time, but I don't stick to the program. I'm sorry, very sorry. In New York State, the state overall always goes for a Democrat, and all those electoral votes go to the Democrat. Okay, so I never had to vote for, even if I was scared of fucking Romney or whatever, I still didn't have to vote for Obama. I was not going to vote for Obama under any circumstances, ever, ever, ever. I warned people from 2004 and on that he was completely fake. Not very fake, completely fake. And all my friends voted for him because they were fucking idiots. He shouldn't have made it past the primary, but voters are idiots. Now, here's a very key point for your friends who say, fuck them, they're all assholes. Okay, cool. So you still got to vote. And here's the fun part. Voting is fun. When I go into the ballot, every time, I never miss an election. You're going to see the big races, let's say governor or mayor or president. And then there's smaller races, congressman. Most Americans don't know what the fuck a congressman is. Senator? What's the difference between a senator and a congressman? I don't know what the fuck this is. Wait, there's civil judges also? Who are these people? I don't know. How am I going to vote for people? I don't know anything about it. The newspapers don't want you to know anything about it. That's why it's all Operation Kardashian. If you see anything about the Kardashians in the newspapers and the news media, that's your cue to vote. Because if they weren't afraid of you voting, they wouldn't try to distract you. They would tell you about these candidates that we don't know who they are. But they don't, because they're scared you will vote. Now, what I do is if I don't know which asshole to vote for, if I think that all the candidates that are on this ballot in particular are assholes, we have in America the power of the write-in. You can write in any name you want, Colonel Sanders. It's so much fun. You'll look, some, like the ones they had in New York State, were the old mechanical beasts, and then they had a pencil hanging on a piece of string. And you could see it had a little thing you'd slide, and you write in the candidate. They don't tell people that because most people don't know about it, and they don't want people to know about it. You have a legal right to write in Santa Claus. I've written in Sister Christian. I've written in Ronald McDonald. I've written in Al Sharpton's mama, Robert Plant. It is fun when you're voting in Ronald McDonald or Snoopy. Trust me, it's fun. And then everyone should take pictures of who they voted for. Now, here's a key point. Spread the word. Any American who has any doubts, vote and write in none of the above. For president, I want none of the above. Now, if none of the above gets 30 million votes, now, unfortunately, it won't cancel the election yet. But the first election where none of the above gets more votes than the Democrat or the Republican robot is revolutionary, and it crumbles their wall a little bit more. Their moat and their protective wall are disintegrating. None of the above. It means the voters did make a choice, and they didn't like either candidate you forced down our fucking throats. So please spread the word. You have to vote, whether you vote for none of the above, which is completely valid, or Madonna, or whoever you want, Gandhi. But you have to vote. Imagine that. That'd be great. If everybody in America voted, and they say, well, 20 million people voted for the president, and 200 million voted for not the president. That's huge. It then humiliates America all over the world, and it embarrasses us further and weakens us. And it makes the politicians realize, oh fuck, we got to do something. We're the laughingstock of the world. Nobody listens to us anymore because I'm not a legitimate president. How can I order wars at the UN when even the UN can see that I'm not a legitimate president? I wasn't installed by the people. I was installed by the liars. It's also going to help in lawsuits we're planning, etc. We're planning on suing the fuckers for everything. For example, we would have to argue in a court of law that the reason they put Election Day on a Tuesday was for the purposes of fraud and conspiracy. Now, they would have to argue, no, that you're wrong, and here's why. And they're going to lose. If it is actually illegal to have Election Day on a Tuesday, under the concept of the Bill of Rights and free and fair elections. And we can prove that. The problem is there's not enough lawyers fighting on the good side. Most lawyers care about money. If you know anybody who wants to go, who's thinking of going to law school, or their parents want to go, tell them to go to fucking law school. Go to law school, but take civil rights law. We need an army of young gung-ho lawyers ready to sue police, 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 ready to sue politicians, 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 ready to sue, ready to get rich, and ready to fuck shit up. Almost everything your government does today is illegal and unconstitutional. The war on drugs isn't just a travesty of justice. The war on drugs is 110% illegal criminal enterprise and criminal conspiracy. Easy to prove times a million. Even they can't argue otherwise. We can say, no, no, we saw that it wasn't working in the first year, so we just kept doing it for the second year, seizing people's cars and drugs and money and homes and yachts. Didn't work the second year, you can still get drugs anywhere. So we thought, let's do the same thing in year 3. We'll seize billions of dollars in cars and cash and homes and yachts. Oh, you can still get drugs just as easily. Doesn't look like our war on drugs is working too well. Let's do it a 4th year. Now remember, the second year they did the war on drugs. If they did the war on drugs 2 years in a row, they're fucked in a court of law. But they did it, 75 years in a row? It's never once worked. That means they have, now they can't argue, this isn't fraud. Yeah, it is. You're saying you're a car dealer, you claimed all your cars are new, and not once did any car you sell me worked. And you're saying that's not against the law. You're a fucking idiot. That's super against the law. They don't get away with the shit because they beat us in courts of law. They get away with the shit because the 99% don't fight back. They don't sue. They don't do anything. The 99% kneel. They kneel every single minute of their lives. And they're the real villain here. It's not the 1%. Oh, really? 10,000 billionaires tricked 7 billion people. That's your argument. Really. That 10,000 billionaires or whatever, and their newspapers, using the same lies every day for over 200 years, tricked you every single time? I'm not buying it. What it is the 99% know they're being lied to. Just like people, nobody believes in God. Nobody trusts the Vatican. They're just cowards or lazy or just going along with the flow so they don't want to stand out and get in trouble. We understand human nature. Nobody wants to be persecuted. And, but if you don't fight back, you have no one to blame but yourselves. Let me see if I can give you a couple other reasons why everybody should vote. Brain thinking. Na 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 na. I need a sound for the sound of a brain thinking. Of course, again, you see it too. How many efforts are the Republicans making to make it harder to vote? They're doing all kinds of stuff. The Republicans are jumping through hoops all over the country, not trying to make it easier to vote. They're trying to make it harder to vote. Guess why? If voting isn't real, then they wouldn't do any of it. They wouldn't do anything to suppress voter turnout. If voting doesn't do anything, they would have put it on a Saturday or Sunday. So please, when somebody says voting doesn't do shit, there's definitely some truth to that, yes. But overall, no. And I say that as a hardcore activist who's been thrown in jail 43-ish times. I've sued the government successfully in the past, and I'm going to sue the government successfully in the future. I'm not just another asshole shooting off his mouth. When I get arrested, I fight back and I win lots of money. I've sued landlords who mistreated me and won over $26,000. I've sued 2 former employees for $8,000. I fight back. Now, some people would say, Christopher, your life is in shambles because Goliath crushed you. And I say, that's not because I fought back. It's because every one of my allies helped them. Big difference. Remember, there's strength in numbers. Now, all of my allies worked for the Republicans because New York City is the dirtiest place on earth. I'll put it against any third world dictatorship. Step forward. Debate me, you motherfuckers. I don't talk shit. I've got a pretty good proven track record in the categories of law. I've proven millions of judges wrong on the law, prosecutors wrong on the law, etc., etc. I'm very good. I'm better than any politician in this country, which isn't saying any much. I'm better than pretty much any lawyer in this country, which isn't saying much. And I'm better than almost any judge in this country, which isn't saying any much. Open secret. They don't want you to know this. Most judges don't know anything about law. They don't. But don't get me started. That's not, I guess, for this topic. You've been lied to about everything. Most judges don't know anything about law. That's why they have clerks to hold their hands. Right? It's like a guitarist who has somebody else play the guitar for him. Well, then you're not a guitarist. Fuck you. And we're working on exposing all of this stuff. And with social media, you're going to see dramatic changes. Because remember, they've been able to control human race for hundreds of thousands of years. Literally, they have controlled the human race using terror, force, brutality, etc., deception, etc. Social media is kicking their ass. Old media like the newspapers and ABCIA and NBCIA and CIABS and CIANN, all the CIA networks, they're losing. That's why they're all freaking out. Look at the Republican machine. The Republican machine keeps trying to stop Trump, and they can't. They don't know what to do. It's actually an amazing time we're in, transitional, where some serious shit is going down, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Whether that means a revolution or not, I don't know. Half of me would love to see an armed revolution. Half of me would rather see us do it with the courts, etc. And you can't say the courts don't work. The courts work all the time. Federal courts, especially, kick the shit out of politicians, the CIA, major media. So spread the word. Any American can sue. I'm working on class action lawsuits and other stuff because I know most Americans don't know the law, and they know that we need more kids to go to law school. If your parents want to pay for it, please go to law school. You can work 2 months a year and be a multi-millionaire while making the world a better place. What else do you need to know, ladies and germs? Let me think. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few things. But I hope I've made a somewhat compelling and persuasive argument why every person in America who can vote must vote. I don't even care if you're the enemy to me. I'd rather the fucking right-wing tards who don't vote than not vote. I would just ask of both sides, and I hope you would spread this to all sides. I hate Republicans more than anything. Of course, I also recognize that Republican voters are people who've just been tricked since birth. It's really not their fault. They live in communities where everybody believes the earth is flat. Their mama and dada told them the earth was flat. Every newspaper in their hometown told them the earth was flat every minute of every day. They look on a dollar bill, it says, in the flat earth we trust. To some extent, you can't really blame them. We know we can educate Republicans because we do it every day. You can't find me a Republican who still believes the earth is flat. You can't find me a Republican who still believes tobacco is good for you. You can't find me a Republican who still thinks earth's the center of the universe. You see, the Republicans always they're very slow. Remember, they're the slowest people in the world, Republicans. They're extra stupid. So we should look at them as semi-retarded. So it's kind of wrong to blame them. They were raised in an incubator of ignorance. You follow me? And they're dumb people. We kind of need to hold like a dumb younger brother who still believes in Santa. It's our job, unfortunately, to say to them, I'm sorry, Billy. I'm sorry, Rush Limbaugh. There's no Santa Claus. And Rush is going to kick and scream and say, you're lying, you're lying. But Rush is slowly going to realize, shit, there is no Santa Claus. I had my doubts. But now I think it's been confirmed. And we see that happens over and over again. The Republicans are slowly learning. Look at it. Not even their fake polls say Jeb Bush is number one. They're getting there. He was the machine candidate, and they're losing. The machine is collapsing because social media is educating the general public rapidly, faster than ever seen before. And we see that. Humans are getting smarter than ever before, faster than ever before. The problem is, at the same time, they're getting dumber than ever before. So, sheesh, it's precarious. But, regardless, the most important thing is 2016 is the year all Americans, both right-wing and left-wing, we unite to say no more Robot A and no more Robot B. We're not voting for any of your establishment candidates. Don't give us these lies about experience. Oh, you need the experienced candidate. No, you don't. We could literally put your plumber or your school teacher in the White House tomorrow. We could literally do this because they have a cabinet. They have paid advisors. They have all kinds of experts who will say to them, I think we should do this. I think we should do this. The president doesn't do shit. That's why we cannot have a president who's experienced. We need to have a president who hasn't got these fucking ties to the machine. We need non-establishment candidates. And I see that monitoring the web and stuff. Even the stupid Republicans are finally realizing, hey, Trump's making some good points. Fuck the rest of these clowns. They're all establishment fucking robots who say the same shit that we've heard our whole lives. It turned out to be a lie. Their shit is collapsing. Their house of cards is collapsing. Again, it's as easy as revealing their magic tricks to the public. Because once you do that, the magic trick never works again. That's why they've thrown me in jail 43 times. That's why YouTube has shut down a bunch of my videos. That's why YouTube has shut down several of my channels. It's why Google has shut down my blogs. It's why Google has shut down many of my Gmail accounts. I must be on to something. Very flattering, thank you guys. You don't ban people who are irrelevant. You ban people who are dangerous. So, ladies and germs, my fellow Americans. Also, again, remember, as much as we like to pick on Republicans for being retarded, and they are, it's not completely their fault. It's not fair. We were all ignorant once, right? Most people believed in God at some point when they were 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And then they eventually figure out that mom and dad lied to them. Same with Santa, Tooth Fairy, etc. It's our job as the big brothers to let our Republican friends who are morons and ignorant fucks, yes, they're pricks, etc., but they were raised to be pricks. So it's a little unfair how badly I beat up Republicans. I can admit it's a little unfair. Sometimes I do it for fun. But we can pull their heads out of their ass. If enough of us grab them by the legs, we can pull their heads out of their asses. It was Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins who once made this point very well in a CMJ conference about indie rock versus major label rock and corporate rock. And he said, guys, I know you in the indie rock community want to write off corporate rock. He says, but remember, it's kids like me who grew up with Judas Priest. But then we hear the underground shit and we go, this shit's cool too, or this shit's even cooler. So he's like, don't give up on the dumb kids because you can make the dumb kids smarter. That's the great thing about the human brain. No matter how stupid the fucking human is, Rush Limbaugh, you can educate them. Now remember, obviously, I have to digress again. Rush Limbaugh doesn't believe a word he says. Ann Coulter doesn't believe a word they say. None of them do. Sean Hannity is not dumb. He plays a right-wing nut job because it made him filthy rich. He's a snake oil salesman. If you want to get rich fast, you don't target the smart people. You target the dumb people. That's what organized religion did. That's what the Republicans do. So again, remember, Rush Limbaugh's not dumb. Rush Limbaugh is just lying about every single thing he utters. A couple days ago, in New York Post, John Podhoretz, hardcore right-wing nutjob, slams the Democrats for lowering taxes on millions of people. Think about that. We have the New York Post, the right-wing flagship of lower taxes, saying the Democrats are bad because they lower taxes. We got 2 scandals right there. They're not stupid. They're lying about every single thing they said, which is, of course, illegal. We're working on that right now. Remember, when a candidate lies, people think, oh, well, that's free speech. No, it isn't. It's fraud. You cannot lie to a customer or anyone at any point in time, ever, if there's any chance of monetary gain. It's fraud. If you do it more than 3 times, it's conspiracy, etc. It's organized crime. If you commit that crime, if you deceive your customers 3 times, you're now an organized criminal. So we're working on the lawsuits and other stuff like that. Spread the word, though. Nothing these motherfuckers do is legal, and it ain't gonna fucking last now, because with the web, they're gonna have to shut that shit down, because as the more and more of the 99% unites and truth spreads, they know they're fucked. That's why they're doing all kinds of shit with shadow ban technology on Facebook, etc., etc. Shadow banning is where they ban you, but make it look like you're not banned. So you might keep posting, I might keep posting stuff on Fox News' website exposing the lies in the story, and I see my comment is still there, but nobody else can see the comment or read it. So they have their cake and they eat it too. They keep the lies going without the activists knowing that we are not actually reaching anybody, because the comments have been shadow banned. Only the author still sees it. Or sometimes they'll make, your circle. can still see it, but nobody else can. Facebook admitted to starting using this technology. We have lawsuits pending against Facebook. We're going after those fucking neo-Nazis who run it. It's a law enforcement tool. You probably already know that. It's much worse than you feared, though. However, the good news is it's totally illegal. 2, people are figuring it out. We're going to win this war. Will we win it in the next 5 years? I can't say. 10 years? 20 years? We got weed, legal weed, faster than we expected. And we got legal gay marriage faster than we expected. It was pretty abrupt how fast that change came. Also keep in mind, with generational shifts, racism dies out and lots of other things die out. Organized religion is in big trouble in America because with each new generation, that stupid, corny shit that worked when nobody was educated, nobody was literate, that shit worked. Shit's dying. We're winning this war. The whole country's turning against police. The Republicans all running for president are fucking quoting Bernie Sanders. Their talking points are all Bernie Sanders. We are winning this war, ladies and germs. Don't give up now. Now is the time to take it up another 2 notches and fucking beat these Nazis down. Gush, 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 gush. Okay, I think I'm belaboring the point. I'm so sorry. I apologize with all my heart. I didn't mean to belabor the point and make this video longer than it should be. What? It's 31 minutes long? Fuck me. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Captain Conscience. Conscience. I'd rather not be so conscious. Saying over and out. And again, remember, it's very important. If you're a liberal like me, or Thomas Jefferson or Ben Franklin, remind Republicans when they denounce liberals, it's like, oh, so you hate the Founding Fathers who said we should kill police. Declaration of Independence says we should kill police. Bill of Rights says we should kill police. So are you on the side of America and the Founding Fathers, or are you on the side of Stalin, Hitler, and the police? Which side are you on? That shuts them up real fast, because they don't know. What do you mean Ben Franklin was a liberal? It's like, did you not read the Bill of Rights? Read the Bill of Rights. Does it not? It doesn't say you have a right to be free from rape and murder by regular civilians. It says we're going to protect you from police, judges, DAs, and politicians. The Bill of Rights, that's all it says. Police are criminals, judges are criminals, prosecutors are criminals, politicians are criminals. Do we disagree with if you don't like the Constitution, that's cool. But then you have to be deported to Iran. Okay? And the Republicans, also remind Republicans of this. They are Iran. And they are Muslim terrorists. They want religious government. Ding, 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 you're Iran. They don't believe in gay rights. Ding, 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 you're Iran. They don't believe in women's equal lib. Ding, 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 you're Iran. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. I can go down the list forever. Iran's a conservative nation. Remind conservatives of that every chance you get. Iran is not a liberal nation. Sweden is. Iran is a conservative nation. Which nation do you agree with? And they get really confused because then they lose their minds because they don't know where they were given all these talking points and then they slowly realize there is no Santa. We can completely ruin that. And what was the other point I was making? The other point I was making is, fuck, I forgot it. It was about defeating the Republicans. Pardon me, I didn't shave correctly today. Fuck you. My hair looks like shit. Fuck off. Same old, same old. What's it about the Republicans? Spread the word, though. All of our holidays are for criminals. This country was founded by terrorists who overthrew the government using violence and said we need to kill police. If you got a problem with that, it's cool. But we have to deport you or we have to hang you for treason. If you support the police, that's your right. But now you're guilty of treason. And we have to hang you. Also, if you support the police, that means you're pro-terrorism. And even you said we have to kill terrorists and people who support terrorism. I agree with the Republicans. We should probably kill everybody who supports terrorism and who supports the police. I agree. Even the police say they're terrorists. The definition of terrorism is using violence or threats of violence to achieve a political goal. That's police. That's not necessarily the Muslim who goes shoots up. A Muslim guy might have gone and shot up just because he thought all those people on the base were fucking racists. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a political goal. He could just say, I think these people are fucking assholes. I'm going to fucking kill them all. I happen to be Muslim. That's not terrorism. The police, though, that's literally terrorism by every definition. Also, they're mafia by every definition. But let's not digress. Vote, vote, vote. Oh, that was my last point. Remember, we can pull this off. Bernie can win the next presidency. Will they assassinate him? We'll see, but he should pick a very dangerous vice president candidate. But if we have to all do a little more work than we've ever done before, getting all of our friends to register to vote by next summer. Actually, maybe before that. I'm not sure yet when the primary is. Also, the New Hampshire caucuses and all that stuff. But if you know people in New Hampshire or Iowa, they got to go Bernie. They can't stay home for this one. You cannot sit this one out. I don't care who you write in, but no one can sit this election out. It's too important. Also, though, if you want Bernie Sanders or any kind of progress, you're going to have to do some labor and if it's just getting 3 of your friends or family members to register to vote and vote for Bernie, because they can denounce him. They're going to use all kinds of tricks. Hillary's going to use all tricks to smear him. The Republicans are going to use all kinds of tricks to smear him. The billionaire media are going to use all kinds of tricks to smear him. Like him or hate him, Bernie is extremely sincere. And I don't say that about a lot of people. I said Ralph Nader was a piece of shit from day one. When he was on the Green Party ballot, I said, as a Green Party candidate, myself, for mayor, I said, Nader's garbage. He's garbage. He hasn't done jack shit in the last 30 years. He's full of shit. Nader, maybe he meant well at one point in life, but I don't believe him. Everything I've seen, he's full of shit. Bernie is not. Now, you guys said Obama was great too. No. We smart liberals said since 2004, Obama was a fake. He's a fake. He's a fake. There's no comparing Sanders to Obama. Do not allow them to do that, please. And if they disagree, send them to me and watch him choke on debating me. I'm sorry this was so long. I apologize profusely. Have a good day and wish us all luck. Over and out.